This is minus 60 degrees Celsius Greenland, a savage sea of ice where communities endure. Meet the hunter, weathered, steady, a life carved by endless cold. Each morning starts the same: sleds, smoke, and the constant math of hunger. Inside the tents, they dry meat, mend skins, and pass down storm names. Today's hunt matters. 300 mouths depend on what he brings back. He steps into the white alone. No radio, no rescue, only instinct. Out here, distance lies. What looks close can take hours to cross. He reads the ice like a book. Every crack is a warning. The dogs sense danger first. Their ears rise before the human mind. The ice shifts without warning. A seam becomes a hungry, black mouth. Quick thinking reroutes the team. Experience outweighs pride in the Arctic. The storm tightens, not louder but closer, like the sky hunting back. Through the white, dark shapes move, a haul out of seals on the floe. He plans in silence, knots, waits, and an old trick to lure them. He inches forward, dogs muted, sled slowed, a careful dance on thin ice. Then the ice betrays him, a crack, a roar, and everything changes. He hauls with everything left: muscle, memory, and the village's hunger. He wins the catch, but not without cost. The mark of that night stays. Victory is only half the battle. He must drag survival back to the village. At minus 60, every breath bites. Even the simplest inhale can sting. Then light appears, not the sun, but the village's small human glow. They gather at the doorways, understanding immediately. Tonight, nobody will sleep hungry. Food here is more than nourishment. It buys time, and time is precious. Tradition keeps them alive. The hunter's work becomes the community's sustenance. Morning comes quietly, but the Arctic never rests. Survival resets with sun. Knowledge is inheritance here. The hunter teaches, guiding the next generation's hands. Nothing goes to waste. Skins make shelter. Fat becomes fire. Every scrap counts. The ice leaves its signature, scars on hands and faces, proof of enduring. Alone against immensity, a single life seems small, but without it, silence follows. He steps again into the white. Tomorrow's hunt begins the cycle anew. But the Arctic never grants routine. Survival is always negotiated, never guaranteed. The wind begins as a whisper, dragging thin snow like smoke across the ground. Veterans notice immediately a pressure drop, a taste of metal in the air. The hunter scans the horizon. Experience tells him the weather is turning fast. Above, clouds stack into heavy walls, sealing the warmth away from the earth. In minutes, the sky hardens. Blue fades into a warning shade of steel. Back in the village, they prepare without panic. Storms are expected guests here. Lines are tightened, sleds anchored, every loose object claimed before the wind does. Children are called inside. Lessons pause. Survival takes the schedule now. The temperature drops again. Cold deepens from discomfort into something predatory. Snow begins to travel sideways, no longer falling, but hunting. The storm has found them. Inside narrow shelters, flame becomes life. Small fires pushing back enormous darkness. Fabric walls tremble, but centuries of design hold against the pressure. The hunter moves from tent to tent, checking knots, reading fear without naming it. Leadership here is quiet, measured in actions, not declarations. Outside, the world dissolves. Horizon, land, and sky merge into a single void. Direction disappears first, and with it, the illusion of control. Hours stretch differently in a storm. Time is counted in surviving gusts. The wind screams now, strong enough to erase footprints in seconds. Snow piles against the walls, weight building silently with every passing minute. They take turns clearing drifts, fighting burial before it begins. Even breathing feels louder, as if the storm is listening. And then, at its peak, the Arctic tests everything they built. Almost without warning, the fury softens. The wind loosens its grip. Doors push outward into a landscape remade overnight. They count carefully: supplies, tools, animals, measuring loss against relief. The hunter's catch is shared immediately. Survival here belongs to everyone. Repairs begin at once, torn seams stitched before the next storm arrives. In the fragile calm, gratitude is simple: warmth, food, and another morning earned. After every storm comes the quiet labor of balance, trading, sharing, rebuilding what keeps them alive. They gather to give thanks, naming the night so it will be remembered. Broken runners are mended, harness stitched, tools restored. Preparation is their permanent state. Smoke rises again, preserving meat for days when hunting will be impossible.
The elder
Children
holds the
return
sacred
to
flame,
laughter,
speaking words of
rehearsing
prophecy
survival
to
in
his people.
games that mirror the lives awaiting them. Beyond the tents, the hunter prepares once more, because rest here is only temporary. These tracks are older than memory, pressed into the ice by generations who refused to vanish. To strangers, the snow is empty. To the nomad, it speaks in textures and shadows. The elders teach a simple truth: the cold is honest, and honesty demands respect. Yet even now, the sky tightens again, reminding them that stability is always fragile. The dogs sense it first, bodies rigid, reading danger carried on invisible currents. The hunter wastes no time. Hesitation is a luxury the Arctic never allows. He drives forward, racing a storm that moves like a living wall. Below him, the ice groans, shifting, breathing, never as solid as it appears. Fear is natural here. Mastery is continuing despite it. Many wonder why anyone would remain, but hardship is simply another word for home. Then the horizon vanishes completely, a whiteout erasing the boundary between earth and sky. When sight fails, trust remains, and tonight he trusts the dogs. The world collapses into whiteness. Forward is the only direction left to choose. Then, for a moment, the heavens respond, ribbons of light guiding travelers beneath the frozen sky. Back in the village, they count not numbers, but names, measuring wealth in presence. Every scar tells a story of endurance. Pain becomes warmth when it means you survived. Children laugh into the cold air, and in that laughter lives the future. Still, the hunter departs again, answering a call older than fear. By morning, his tracks will vanish, but the path he follows cannot disappear. His compass is not metal or magnet, but memory, carried forward step by step. Here, life is not merely preserved, it is handed carefully from one generation to the next. Against infinite darkness, even a single flame becomes an act of defiance. Man does not conquer this land. He belongs to it, as the dogs and wind do. At the edge of the world, silence is not emptiness, it is understanding. In -60, survival favors not the strongest, but the one who refuses to fade. And when the wind erases every trace, the white remains, endless, patient, eternal.